The new building will be on the other side of that glass.
When you say the new building?
Well, the barn, the new building that we're building.
Ah.
You know about the new building?
No.
Okay, well, there's going to be a new building.
The new shop at Five Ashes has been the brainchild of Cathy and Charles Swingland and their farming partner Will Sheffield. It has come about with the realisation that there is a growing demand for organic food. When the right property came up, they quickly put their plans into action.
And then you'll join into this bit through those doors and some other doors there, so there'll be a bit of a flow around. And then the cafe bit will be in the middle with lots of art hanging up, because obviously there's loads of light and space. Places to sit and lots of plants growing.
You'll have your work cut out doing all that.
There's a bit to do, there's a bit to do.
Just a stone's throw from the East Sussex village of Mayfield, Cathy and Charles Swingland have run an organic farm for the last 10 years. Situated down a quiet country lane, the old shop has been happily selling the farm's organic produce, as well as promoting other local suppliers over the years. Initially it was open just to sell the farm's own output, but as the demand grew, the farm shop started to sell organic food from all over the world, as well as local produce. The Hen on the Gate name started to draw in customers from further afield, and as the demand increased, Cathy and Charles realised that the enterprise would have to expand. The old shop at Clayton Farm managed to produce wonderful food, despite the lack of elbow room.
And there they are.
But the burgeoning demand for organic food and the increasing productivity of the farm itself meant it was time to move. The opportunity arose when an old nursery came up for sale on the main Mayfield Road, and so they decided to take their chance.
That's on the triangular bit, so that's the sort of top field.
with you.
Then below that there's a much bigger field, which is about 4 acres, and a little wood. And so it's 5.5 acres this side. So these are going.
Yeah.
What we're doing here is, that's the growing one over there, and actually we might be able to get into that. This is where we're going to be doing all the growing to begin with. We've got to do the organic conversion here, obviously. So we'll be doing green manures, just tidying everything up.
The vast greenhouse space, along with the extra land at the new site, allowed Cathy's imagination to explore and create new business opportunities. Skills acquired over the last 10 years in running a farm and farm shop provided her with the experience needed to plan the new enterprise. With such a huge area under glass, the possibility to run a pick-your-own salad scheme, as well as normal glasshouse cropping, could become a reality. There was space enough for a cafe, for offices, and for a sales area too, for non-perishable goods. The vast roof area was to be harnessed to collect rainwater for irrigation. There already was a water tank used by the previous owners too. Any overflow could be run into the pond that was being dug. Plans were soon drawn up, taking advantage of Will's knowledge and experience as a builder. Imagination is one thing, the reality of battling through a plethora of building regulations and planning applications is another. Everything from trolley parks to toilets had to be considered.
No, I think it needs to be sloped.
Work started early in 2007, with an ambitious completion date planned for that summer, attracting plenty of interest from the many passers-by, but also opening up a Pandora's box of planning applications and local authority regulations. Even when all the man-made obstacles seemed to be overcome, work suddenly came to a halt. Even though no construction work could continue at the new shop, animals still had to be fed. Some of the animals can overwinter outside, It is generally better and healthier for them than being brought in. But harder work for the farmer, as feed has to be taken out to them every day, with extra rations when the temperature plummets. The cows have to be brought in though, or else they would poach the land. They require a vast amount of silage and hay for feed, and straw for bedding, all homegrown at Clayton Farm. These grasses mix with the cow's effluent to make manure, an essential part of all farming cycles. It is valued even more highly by the organic farmer, as no artificial fertilisers are allowed to be applied to the land by the organic movement. Once the snow had melted and the land was no longer frozen, essential groundwork at the new shop could progress. Meanwhile, back at the farm, lambing was in full flow. The mothers and lambs are brought in for a few days after lambing outside. This mothering up, as it's known, gives the farmer a chance to check that all is well, and the mother and lamb a chance to bond before going out onto new pasture. The ewes and lambs are kept in a nursery field close to the farmhouse, where a close eye can be kept on them. An important event in an organic farm's year is its annual inspection by the official body that will grant it its organic status. But coping with the paperwork and bureaucracy imposed on all farmers, let alone the additional directives to gain organic status, as well as supplying homegrown produce to one's own shop, is not for the faint-hearted. Clayton Farm is a member of the Soil Association. They also inspect any new land that is bought, together with its buildings, and will advise on how to fulfil members' obligations to gain their full organic status. Another important date in the calendar is the farm's open day. Kathy, Charles and Will invite the general public to enjoy a day at the farm when there is an opportunity to meet some of the farm animals and sample some of its produce.
This is the egg collection walk, not to be confused with the egg trail for the Easter eggs.
How many people actually want to pick up the eggs?
Collecting Kathy's award-winning eggs is always popular for all the family, if not so much so for all the hens.
Put them in the box. Yeah. So yes, do try and make it feathery.
Kids can join in the pottery workshops, and there are always plenty of chicks and lambs and piglets to see, much to the delight of the visiting children. There are even prizes to win and competitions, such as guess the number of eggs in the basket.
How many do you think, Sophie?
The day also provides an opportunity for local producers to show off their wares, and for Kathy to meet and greet many of her regular customers. Actually laying the foundations to the new barn was as symbolic as it was practical. For the first time since the planning stage, the shop's footprint was there to see. But midsummer was fast approaching, and the completion date had to be put back. Regardless of this, Kathy still has to do her rounds every day.